Good morning. Let's start in our lovely reclining position on the floor. There's something to be said for starting upright and being energetic, but there's also something to be said for starting on the floor and waking up slower. So let's check in and make sure that our hips are stacked. And we're going to bend that top leg and we're going to go for about 10 knee and toe forward, stretching heel or toe to the back. Whatever reaches. We are working through the hip muscles. Trying to get that internal rotation, that external rotation through the hip without rocking backwards and forwards. And you might be able to feel it if you feel yourself rolling on that bottom hip. Hopefully you're not doing that now. Let's do 2 more because I was talking and not counting as usual. And let's go to the other side. So getting back into that comfortable position, straightening that bottom leg, checking that your hips are stacked, that you're not angled back onto the meat of your hip. You want to be right up on the bone on the side of your thigh. May not be too comfortable. But here we go for 10. You can absolutely brace yourself with your hand to hold yourself in that position. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come onto our backs. And just for a second, let's hug our knees in. Roll around a little bit. Just check in with how your back is feeling. And then plant your feet on the floor, arms out to the side. We're going to do our windshield wipers. You want to go as far as you can to one side, as far as you can to the other side, back to center. Flatten your back, lift up into a bridge. 9 more. Over, over, center. Lift. Over, over, center. Lift. Good. Check in with how everything is feeling. A few more. Check in when you're bridging, that you're lifting through your toes. Press those toes into the floor and lift those hips up. This is our last one, I think. Center and lift. So I'm going to scooch down just a little bit so I have room for my arms. We're going to do a set of bound bugs. We're going to go for 8 on each side. One hand braced against the opposite knee, back flat into the floor. Let's go for 8, 7. Yeah, you're going to feel this in the abs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Give your abs a pat. They're doing good. Brace yourself on the other side. When you do these slow and controlled, they can be killers. 2, 3, 5. 3 more. Checking that your back is still on the floor. Last 2. Last 1. Hug your knees in. Rock side to side. Make that rock a little bit bigger from side to side. And eventually we'll roll over onto your side and up onto hands and knees. So we're on hands and knees. We're going to do our rotations. Hand behind your head. Rotate down and up to the ceiling. 4 more. 3. And 1. Switching sides. Other hand behind your head. And down, elbow to arm, elbow to ceiling. Trying to keep your hips as still as you can. 3 more. 2 more. The last one. Good. Okay. So back on your hands and knees, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's do some pelvic tilts. So tailbone comes up, tailbone tucks under. Just loosen up that lumbar area. And then let's bring your tailbone and your lower back to neutral. Focusing on the upper back. We're going to tuck your chin, round your shoulder blades up, release your neck or chin, and let your shoulder blades come in towards your spine. So let's do about 5 more. So it might look like my back is moving, but I'm initiating everything through my upper back. So let's put it all together. Let's tuck the tailbone and let's stretch that roundedness through your lower back, through your middle back, protracting through your upper back, tucking your chin. Big breath in and then release the head. Bring the crown of your head up. Let your shoulder blades start to sink in towards each other. Your chest will drop. Your middle back will start to go into extension. And then your tailbone comes up. Now we're in cat. We're in cow. I always mix them up. Let's do that 2 more times, tucking the tailbone, rounding through the middle back, then the upper back and chin. Big breath in. On the exhale, start to lift your head. Bring your shoulder blades together, middle back together, tailbone up. 1 more time. Rounding, moving through your back, tucking your chin, and then releasing that chin and your neck. Shoulder blades come up, middle back, tailbone. Okay, let's wag our tails, shake it all out. And come into a plank on our elbows. Okay, so from here, my feet are sliding. We're going to come up into dolphin. So you're going to push your hips back and your heels down, releasing through your back and your shoulders, and then come back over your shoulders into a plank. So hiking up and coming back in. 3, 4. A little more intense, I think. And then coming into a down dog. But here we are. Let's hold this plank and shrug. So we're just going to do that retract, protract with our shoulder blades. 2 more. Holding your plank. And then come back into child's pose. Nice. Let's stretch to one side. Sorry, we're doing a little bit more stretching at the beginning than we usually do. My back is a little tight from whatever I was doing yesterday. So do the workout with you. Thank you for indulging me. Okay. So let's come back onto hands and knees. Let's take your left foot forward. So it's right next to your hand, if you can, or close to your hand. It's okay. Wherever your stretch is, that's where it is. I can get my foot right to my hand. I'm going to slide my back leg back just a little bit more and lean into it. And I'm going to take my left hand and reach up and go for some rotations. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to step onto your toes on the back so your knee comes off the ground. And we're going to try to straighten that front leg, bend that back leg. Straighten, bring your knee down. 3, making it more dynamic. No, not straightening my front leg. It's not going all the way straight. It's just getting a nice big dynamic stretch. And that's how we're warming up. 2 more. Then we're going to hold it here. And I started with the wrong foot forward, as usual. I've done that every week this week. We're going to drop that back knee down, bring that foot back and switch sides. So we're gonna come into that groin stretch with your right foot forward by your right hand and kind of just rock into it. And then let's add those rotations. So your right arm is gonna come up. You can for sure do this from a straight leg and back. You can also keep your knee down. 3, 4, 5. Bringing that hand down, we're going to straighten the back leg so your knee is off the ground. And let's rock back and forth between bent knees and straight legs. Or our closest approximation to that straight leg. So you're reaching down towards the floor and then coming back up. Do another couple. And from here, we're going to walk our hands to the middle. Bring your arms up onto your knees and go side to side. And then settle in the center. Let's drop one shoulder down and the other shoulder down. You guys should be feeling pretty warm by now. And actually, let's hang out here, lift one heel up, lift the other heel up. Your hands can be on your legs or hanging down, but just lifting one ankle and then the other. And then let's try both heels at the same time. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Round it up, walk it in. Shake our arms, swing them out. No, feels like you're doing nothing when you're swinging your arms. Trust me, you're doing something, or we wouldn't be doing it. Here you go. Twist. What are we doing? We are getting our bodies ready to work. So let's circle out our wrists, give them a little bit of relief from our time on the floor. And if you want to multitask, you can find your balance on one foot and wiggle. You can also do this with your wrists. We're definitely multitasking this morning if you can. Nice. Now switch sides and switch hands. So get your foot wiggling and your arm moving. This is like rubbing your belly and patting your head. Can you do them at the same time? Ah, you're doing great. Good. Pedal it out. Your ankles are feeling good. We're going to do our bouncing and our split squats first. So before we get back down on the floor and do a little bit more core. So roll your shoulders. Start bending your knees. Start finding that springiness. Stretch into your calves. And then come up. You're like ragdoll, your heels coming up and down. You don't have to. You can definitely do one heel at a time. That's fine. You're doing you, because I know we all have different ankles and we all have different issues. So if you want to, you can take your feet up. A little release from the floor, both legs at a time is a little bit easier than Thursday when we are doing one side at a time. You go forwards and back. In about 5 more seconds, we're going to go side to side. See if you can feel your obliques making that shift happen. That you can go up and over something on the floor. And rest. Grab a drink, we're not done. We still have our bouncy split squats. So the transition with our bouncy split squats. Good. I'm a lot breathier up here than I was in Seattle. Here we go. So we're gonna go 5 to nice and springy, and then switch jump if you're up for it and seeing your faces. The transition, if you're not gonna jump between them, is just a step. So we're gonna go springy, 5, 4, 2, 1, transition. Get your balance, check your toes, springs, 2, 4, 5, and jump. Other side. 4, 3, 1, and switch. I find that big circular hand motion helps. 4, 3, 1, and switch. Going for 3s. 3, 2, 1, switch. Other side. 3, 2, 1, switch. 2, 1, switch. 2, 1, switch. And then we're gonna go for 6 switch jumps. You can make them into alternating reverse lunges, or you can join me and go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'll give you some time to finish. And some time for my heart rate to come down. Good work. I never said switch jumps were easy, but I did say that's what we were building to, and we did. So if you got them, awesome. If you didn't get them, thank your legs for what they gave you. Let's come down on the floor. We're gonna do our bird dogs. With the boxes, as much of a balance beam as you can. So essentially what's happening with this is, as we make our box and the arm and our leg go away from our body, it's challenging our balance. So if you're feeling challenged this morning, keep your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. If you want more of a challenge, let's bring everything together. We're going to do 3 boxes each direction on each side. So I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to take arm and leg out, out, down, back in, and up is 1, 2, 3, and reverse. It's perfectly normal for these to look like circles. Sometimes when you're starting, it's hard to know where your feet and your arm are in space. Your arm's a little bit easier, of course, because you can see it. But what your foot's doing is sometimes a big mystery. And reverse, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. From here, we're going to do our bear crawls. So sit back for just a second, give your wrist a little break. That just, if you're on your hands and knees still, bring your fingertips towards your knees and lean back. And give your wrists a little stretch before we ask them to work some more. So we're going to go 2 steps in each direction, 3 times in each direction, okay? So up into your hover position, 2 steps forward, 2 steps over, 2 steps back, 2 steps over, that's 1 box. Back and over. That's 2, last box in this direction. That's 3. Bring your knees down. Circle out your wrists if you need to. We're going to do the exact same thing in the opposite direction. Starting now. Let's get it over with. 1. Oops. 2, 2, 2, and back for 2. Last one, over and over, up and up, over, over, and back, and back. Hooey! Nice work. Give your wrists a little bit of love. Fingertips towards your knees. Sit back just a little bit and let them stretch. We are going to take a minute, grab a drink, and we'll start our weights. So we have our hammer curl to an Arnold press, our rear delt fly, whoop, to a front raise, a goblet squat, and some speed skaters. So another minute here. Catch my breath, catch your breath. Adjust your waistbands. Mine keeps rolling over, gets uncomfortable. And find your weights. About 20 seconds. Oh, who knew my heart rate would come up so high? It's funny, I adapt so easily to sea level. It takes me a little bit to come back up to elevation. I don't feel it except when I'm working out. Okay, so we're gonna do hammer curl to an Arnold press. You can make this a regular rotational bicep curl where you rotate up and forward, rotate palms back to you, and then down. We're going, depending on your weight, if you're light, we're going 18 to 20. If you are heavier, we're going somewhere in the range of 15 if we can. Okay, so let's go. 1, 2, nice. 3, 4, 8, 9, keep breathing. 10, 11, 16. You're done, you're done. 17, no worries. So last one. Up, up, down, down. Oh, weights down. Shake your arms out. Swing your arms. Let the blood flow everywhere. Inside your body, please. So as we're getting towards higher reps with lighter weights, if you're done, you're done, right? We're building repetitions. So go a little bit lighter. Actually, I'm going to go much lighter. For the rear delt fly to the front raise. So remember, it's that hinge with the fly, and then we stand up and do a front raise. We got all these shoulder exercises back to back to back. Let me talk. Enjoy the rest. Roll your shoulders. Get them ready to work. We may only get through, I don't know how many sets we're going to get through as we increase the reps. We'll see. So listen to your body. When you're done, you're done. We can keep going, keep going. So we're going to hinge. Let's fly and lift. Remember, we're not arching our back as we lift our arms up. Squeeze those glutes. Let them support you. Glutes and abs helping you lift your arms up. 4. At 10, halfway through. Prior to, there's 15. Beautiful. Keep it going if you can. If you're done, you're done. That's okay. 18. Good job. 19. Last one. And let's put those weights down. And shake it out. Grab a drink. Yeah, I think trainers, people who do programming get lazy. You get used to these set rep ranges and you never leave them. And you just get a whole different stimulus to your muscles when you do. Stimulus to your brain too. It's like, I can count higher than 12 reps. It's a good thing. So we're going to go into our double pulse goblet squat. Whatever weight is appropriate for you. Doing them, I'm grabbing a 15-pound kettlebell. You take our feet a little wider than your shoulders. And we're going to sink down, pulse, and come up. We get that little pulse. Looks good. And look, you're sitting in the chair behind you. See if you can pick up your toes as your hips come down. Keep your weight in back. This is where my counting wants to stop. But we're going to keep going. See if we can do 5 more. 4. 3 more. last one. Nice. Woo. And bring that weight down. Clear your workspace. Okay, come way over to one side. We have 30 seconds of speed skaters. Take your legs out. We'll go in 10 seconds. As big or as low as you want to go. And let's hit it. You can reach high, come low. You can make it a big step, find your balance. Nice. 10 more seconds. And rest. Let's take a full minute here. Good work. Pat yourself on the back. Step touch, let your heart rate come down. Let everything re-equilibrate. I think we can do that again. Oh no. The tic-tac. And some hip circles. Heart rate comes down. Go both directions. Figure eights. Give yourself a hand. Okay, let's grab a drink. Maybe adjust your weights. You remember what they felt? Doing the bicep curls to the shoulder presses. You need to go a little lighter, go a little lighter. You want to go heavier and do fewer reps? Be my guest. This is the last time we're doing this workout, so make it whatever you want it to be. We're pushing ourselves either way, going heavier or going with more reps. So let's go bicep curl to an overhead press and back down. 2. Lighter weights, you can move them faster. Heavier weights are going to be a little slower. So whenever I get to 20, because I went faster, I went lighter, so I'm going to go a little faster. I will check and make sure everyone's done. And if you're watching this at home and you're not done, just hit pause and finish up your set. The most important thing I notice is when you get past 15 and you're getting tired, you're going to want to arch your back a little more. You might want to shift your foot position. Slow it down. Or stop. Down. Nice work. I've lost count, so I think I was at 20. Maybe you were all at 20. Yay! And of course, I always think of these things after the fact. Especially with something like this, if you're getting tired, you can always split your sides. So you don't have to do both arms at the same time. This is if you're doing the workout on your own ever again. And this comes up and you're pushing yourself with the weights and you get tired, do one side and then the other side. That way your muscles get a little bit longer break. Actually, they do get a break between and a chance to refresh. It makes it a little bit easier. So that's always an option as we go along, and I'll try to remember to cue that earlier. So let's grab whatever weight you're using for the rear delt fly and the front raise. Hinging back, your hips and your abs are holding you. Let's get going. Fly to a raise. Good. Your hips should be getting pretty tired by now. Doing the squats and the speed skaters and the hinges we've been doing. Looking good. So, and as we're going along, if they're starting to get really heavy and you're getting tired, you can bend your elbows. Let your elbows lead for the fly, bend your arms, shorten the lever for the raise. I think I have 4 more. Let's do 3 more together and call it good. 2, nice. Last one, out and up. And if our counting is off, my counting is off. There's nothing new there. Let's shake it out. Grab our weight for doing squats, which might be quite a bit heavier. We're working bigger muscles now. Feet nice and wide, double pulse squat. Down and up. Don't like the double pulse. Hips are getting tired, make them singles. Good. Chest up, eyes up. Almost there. And more. Stay with me. Here we go, last one. Whew. Put the puppy down. Do a quick twisty stretch. And let's get into position, 30 seconds. Speed skaters, get your heart rate up, keep it up. Keep your whole body moving, here we go. Find that springiness. Even if you're staying low, see if you can find that springiness in your muscles and your tendons. Beautiful. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's take a minute or two here. Let your heart rate come down. Give your hips a hand. Pop them out side to side. We'll do some circles. You can walk it off, do some grapevines or some step touches. I'm going to grab a drink of water. We're doing floor work after this. So come down on the floor. We're going to be doing our reverse press rotations with psoas march and our Superman pulls and a plank something something. we'll figure it out as we go. It changes every week, right? So the reverse press rotations. Get comfy on the floor. So we're going to start elbows out to the side. Press up for chest press. Bring it down. Pull your arms in. Palms facing you. Lift up and bring the weights together. 2. Make sure the weights are staying over your chest, not over your face, not over your belly. Let's do 3 more. If you're done, you're done. If you're still going, we have 2 more. Last one. Up, rotate, and up. Bring those weights down safely. Find your mini loop band. I'm going to keep my feet on the floor for this one. You're all welcome to keep your feet on the floor for this one. You don't have to do it elevated. I think that was, a few of you have mentioned some challenges with where you were feeling it, pulling with your back instead of holding yourself with your hips. So let's try to keep your back neutral on the floor, engage your glutes, and pull. Go for as heavy as band as you can. Give yourself the challenge for your quads and your hip flexors that way. And see if you can keep your back down, that you're not pulling with your back as you lift your leg up. And we're going for 12 on each side. I have 2 more on each side. And let's take the band off. We're going to roll over and do our Superman pulse. So again, you're welcome to keep your feet on the floor, pressing down into the floor with your toes or the top of your foot, doesn't matter. We're going to start here. Lift up. Do 2 more. Up yourself up into child's pose. Let your back flex for 10-15 seconds. Then I keep thinking, keeping with the quad theme, let's come onto our elbows into a plank. You can do these elevated or you can do them on the floor. And we're just going to run those knees out. So knee comes down to the floor and the other knee comes down. Never losing your plank. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rock it back. Take your arms to one side, let your arms and shoulders stretch with your back. Let's go to the other side. Grab a drink if you need it. We're going to go through that one more time because we can. So starting with our chest press, you know what weight you were using. And if it works, we're going here, try to get to 18. It takes a while, but we'll get there. This is the longest part of this set, is this one move. So let's get settled in on our back and do some pelvic tilts. Make sure your back is flat, but your spine isn't pressing into the floor. Just want to make sure you can feel the floor underneath your back, that you're not arching. And let's start going. So if you get to 12, awesome. If you get to 15, awesome. If you get to 18, awesome. This is 13, 14, 15. I'm going to try for 3 more. If you're done, you're done. If you're still going, stay with me. It's 3, 2, the last one coming, up, and rotate up. Whew, I think I'm done. Done, 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 done. So let's grab our band. This gives our shoulders and chest a break. Okay, so you want to keep tension on the band. So don't let your feet come so close together that your band goes slack. Keep some tension on there, even if it means your feet are going a little bit wider. And let's pull 24 pulls, keeping that back neutral on the floor. This is 20, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let go of that band. And let's roll it over. And start, Gold Coast arms. Big inhale, on the exhale, pull. 2, 3, we're going to get 12. 4, lift up as high as you can. Anchor your feet. 12. Rock back into child's pose. I'm going to turn it around so I can see you. Come into plank one last time. Right after this, we get a nice big stretch. Find your plank. And we're gonna drop one hip down and the other hip down. Make your obliques work. You don't need to touch. $18, 24 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are done. Take your knees nice and wide. Sink back onto your heels. Stretch your arms forward and catch your breath. Good work today. Should be proud of yourselves. Did a great job. Last time you have to see the sequence of workouts, of exercises, I mean. There are a lot more Tuesdays, Thursdays coming. But not this particular combination. So keeping your knees wide, let's come up onto your hands. Let's just rock back and forth. So let that stretch go a little bit more dynamically into your back and shoulders. And then bring your knees under your hips. And let's make some circles with one leg, bent knee. Good. And switch sides. Like knee to chest, out to the side, to the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to stay on hands and knees, but take one leg out to the side and rock forwards and backwards about 4 times. If it feels good, go ahead and rotate from the hip and take your toes up to the ceiling and keep rocking. Otherwise, keep your toes down. And then we're going to center up, hip over your knee. Take that outside hand, rotate down and up. 2, 3, and 4. Take that hand down. Inside hand comes up. And we're going to shoot through, thread the needle. Big rotations. 3. 1 more. And we're going to bring that hand down. Bend your knee that's outstretched. Bring it in. Don't hurt yourself. And we'll switch sides. So rocking back and forth on side 2. And if it feels good to pop your toes up, go for it. Otherwise, keep them down. Same difference. Tell how much you can go into the stretch, and everyone's different. Okay, so let's come back up, hip over knee. Outside hand comes behind your head. Let's rotate down 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Bring that hand down and switch sides. Thread the needle for 4. Reach through as far as you can. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Back on hands and knees. We're going to come into child's pose, threading the needle so we actually give your shoulders a rest and a nice big stretch. Nothing dynamic right now. Just let the weight of your body stretch out your shoulder, stretch out your legs, stretch out your hips. Whew. And let's switch sides. Come up on hands and knees, but walk your hands forward and let your hips straighten out. Think about squeezing your glutes as you let your hips come down. It'll protect your back a little bit. We're going to pull your shoulders away from the ears and look up and let the front of your hips stretch. If it feels good, you can bend your knees, but that's pretty extreme. Right now, it's even extreme for me. So this gives the front of your body a nice big stretch. And then let's come down on our sides and let's do a big open book twisty stretch. So knees are going to tuck up towards your chest. Bottom arm is going to hold on to that top knee. Keep them stacked as long as you can. Reaching forward and opening up. Try to bring that shoulder down to the floor. If it doesn't want to go, try again. Sometimes being dynamic helps you get into positions. Sometimes just letting your arm rest out there is what you need. So give it a try, see what you think. See what it's going to take to get your shoulder down. You might actually feel like you need to shimmy your shoulders down. And then try straightening your legs. And take some big deep breaths. And bend your legs. Come on up. I'm going to roll around so I can keep watching you. We're going to go over to side 2. Bottom hand on that knee. Reach and open up. Let your eyes follow your hand. See if you can ease into that stretch, bringing your shoulder all the way down to the floor. Or as close to the floor as you can get. Some people I work with, it's the eternal struggle. We go for just a little bit more, a little bit better. There's no perfect. And then try straightening your legs so you can get a few more back pops out of it. And let's come up to sitting. That's already 8:15. How did that happen? Let's roll our shoulders. And take just a few more seconds here. Take one hand on the opposite knee, reach behind you, lift up nice and tall. And let's rotate. Coming into a spinal twist. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Slowly come back to center. We'll do side 2 and then we'll be done. So lifting up nice and tall, rotating around your spine, bracing against your knee, pulling your shoulders down. And then come back to center. And we're all done. Nice work.